Hello, you beautiful, wonderful people. Welcome back to another video. The match previews are back because Manchester City are back in action tomorrow. Finally, domestic football returns. Don't get me wrong, the World Cup was pretty fun. It really was pretty decent. But this is the big gun. City are back tomorrow in the Carabao Cup. We need to reclaim that Carabao Cup, don't we, against Liverpool. And there's been loads and loads of discourse today online about who will be available. Should they be available? Are they letting the club down? And loads more. Of course, we will discuss all that today. I would quickly like to jump in beforehand into the latest video over on where is it? Over on 888 Sport. Let me just jump over there. I'm going to play this.
You've got Southgate. Southgate can't be on my list.
No, he has to be on the list.
Nah, he's
Right
not
at the
on
moment.
the list.
for me,
The answer to the next England manager isn't Gareth Southgate.
There's no way I'm having, and I love him, obviously, look, my hero, but there's no way Gerrard's there in Gerrard third is
Gerrard's a better manager than Southgate.
PA.
what?
Gerrard's won silverware.
I know, yeah.
But Gareth Southgate's been relegated with England.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
been relegated with England. Do you know what that means? This England team, how good they are.
League,
They've been
not
relegated.
Yeah.
He's relegated as Middlesbrough manager. He's relegated as England manager. He is the very definition of a loser.
But do you honestly think, forget your hatred for Southgate, do you honestly
Hatred,
believe
it's just
that
fact.
Gerrard could do a better job for
it's
England
guns,
than
mate.
Southgate?
Yeah. Anybody could. Anybody could. What's Gareth Southgate done for England? Everybody tells me that he's done stuff. What's he done?
He's made me fall in love with England again. Here we go. Watch,
I don't even know what
watch.
that means. I don't even know what that means. When people keep talking to me about things that don't matter, tell me about winning games. Tell me about performances. Tell me about silverware. I'm worn out by it. I'm worn out by his inadequacy. I'm worn out by just how average he is.
We're gonna
He's a
revisit
distinctly
this
average
in a year's
man.
time when they've appointed Sean Dyche and he's going to be begging for Southgate to come back.
Sean Dyche is a better manager than Gareth Southgate.
Maybe
I
not
don't want Sean
international.
Dyche to be England manager, but Sean Dyche is a better manager than Gareth Southgate.
Oh, so there's the latest episode of the playlist over on 888 Sport. You can check it out in the link in the description below the full video. Who do you think should have been England manager? Of course, since that was filmed, it's come out that Gareth Southgate is staying on. Was that the right call? Let us know in the comments. Personally, sort of on the fence. I didn't massively care who was going to be the England manager, but I do think Southgate's done pretty well. I am old enough to remember when England were absolutely shite, for want of a better word. Constantly knocked out of tournaments and all this kind of stuff. With better teams, with better players maybe individually than what England have got now. And even though Southgate hasn't really taken the leap, he has done better than any other England manager probably since 66, so he's sort of earned the right, but I do think the next tournament probably is his final one. And I guess the biggest question for me is, who would have replaced him? Eddie Howe wouldn't have gone there. Maybe you look at people like Thomas Tuchel, he wouldn't have gone there. I don't really know who would have been, and there's not that many. Anyway, check out the full video over on 888 Sport, the latest episode of the playlist, and let me know in the comments what you make of it, because there is loads and loads to talk about today anyway. So we will be talking, of course, about all the quotes, and we will, of course, be trying to predict the lineup. But first of all, I'll talk about the game and City being back. Now, we've been seeing a slow drip feed of players coming back, and it turned out today a whole bunch returned today, including the England internationals, including Jack Grealish, who got an awful lot of stick for daring to follow club orders and have a few days off, which is the internet for you. There's always something to complain about these days. But either way, City are back in action tomorrow and people are starting to return to training. Now, it turns out a whole bunch of players won't be available. Let me just double check who those players are. I think the likes of Ederson, Diaz, Joao Cancelo, Kyle Walker, John Stones, Bernardo Silva, Grealish, Phillips, Foden and Alvarez. So, of course, Brazil, Portugal, England and Argentina, basically. Those that aren't available tomorrow. I think they've all had a set amount of days off. So I think Ake's back simply because he played the day before. And Rodri, I think, went out a few days beforehand as well. Someone correct me if I'm wrong there, but I think it's entirely based on date of exit and all this kind of stuff, not necessarily the round. I'm going to have a look, actually, and check the results. World Cup results. When did Spain go out? Spain went out, yeah, they did. It's simple as that. It's just days. Spain went out earlier. They went out on the 6th. So everyone's talking about the rounds. So Spain went out on the 6th, so of course Laporte and Rodri are back. England went out on the 10th. Netherlands went out on the 9th, so the day before. So that's why Ake was back the day before. And Portugal went out on the 10th, hence why they came back today. Same as England. So people talked an awful lot about, this guy's back and that guy's back based on certain dates. But it's not based off games. It's based off dates, so it makes an awful lot of sense. Kylian Mbappe being back at PSG is irrelevant to Manchester City. Ultimately, City have their own protocols and own ways. The way I would try and explain it, you don't have to agree, of course, but I think it's unfair not to agree, is that Manchester City and Guardiola, of course, are very particular about the players resting and recovering mentally at certain times. Guardiola is often telling the players to go away for a few days. Literally, if City don't have a game for a week, he honestly sends the players away for a mini break. He says, "Go and have 2 or 3 days to yourself to rest and recover." Guardiola absolutely understands the idea and the value of clearing your head. Now, England played on the 10th, so they played late on the 10th. It was 10 p.m. Qatar time, so imagine a day or two recuperation after that. All of a sudden, you're at the 12th or the 13th. Grealish flies to New York for 4 or 5 days, maybe. Then he's back in England on the 19th and in training on the 21st after jet lag is cleared. It's absolutely nothing, and I personally massively get why they did it. Guardiola was said, "I understand that when you played in the World Cup and you're in the quarters or whatever, last 16, whatever, the weight of your country is on your shoulders, and it can be very hard to switch off." And by the way, you got to consider this. I guarantee you, Guardiola will want the players to forget everything that Gareth Southgate has told them, because Guardiola does not want them diluted. He does not want them infected with Gareth Southgate's footballing curse. He doesn't. So he will say, "Go away. Forget the football that you've just been playing. Have a few days off just so you're not in England mode, just so you're not worrying about the World Cup. Go away, relax, then come back as a Manchester City player." You don't have to agree with that, but honestly, I think that's the way that they operate. And Guardiola is an absolute master psychologist, absolute master leader, and if this works for him, I can't really criticise it. We can turn around and go, no, they should rush back. But ultimately, every single player have come back when they've told to. Not a single player has. And we can't turn around. It's not fair to say, well, they all should come back apart from the ones that we think has underperformed. They should come back early and give up their holiday. They should be treated differently. I don't think it's really fair, personally. I just don't think it is. They are about to play a hectic schedule of games from January to the end of May, unlike anything they've ever seen before, because of the World Cup condensing everything down. So all things considered, given that Manchester City want to go as far as they can in the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, the Champions League, and of course, hopefully right till the final day of the Premier League, maybe earlier, you understand why Guardiola is saying any chance you can get for a break, you take it right now. I don't think that's controversial. I think it's common sense, if we're being totally honest, to make sure the players, if they get a chance to avoid burnout, take it. And I think that's what he's done. He's probably demanded it. Do it. Make sure you rest, because I'm going to need you for this final stretch of the season, because it's going to get busy and it's going to get heavy. So that's where I think we are. And obviously it's not ideal ahead of the Liverpool game tomorrow, but so be it, man. At the Carabao Cup, I hate to say it, it probably isn't Manchester City's priority right now. I do want it to be. By the way, I need 3 more subscribers there to get to 64,700. Come on, 3 more subscribers. Some of you watching won't be subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. But I do think that's the logic behind it. You don't have to like it, of course, but I do think it's true. It's just how it is, you know. It's that's just the nature of being a Manchester City player. It's demanding. Now, I look at a few quotes here today from the press conference. Guardiola said, step by step, people came back. Today, 6 players come back. We're happy they are back. In general, they play well. It's a unique experience, so I'll let them try and come back as soon as possible and work for the team, and maybe 4 years they'll live another World Cup, that is. He talked a bit about the Champions League as well. No, he talked about the players in the World Cup are in better condition than those that were here. Sergio, Erling, Riyad, and they've missed a little bit. So it sounds like he's just sort of accepted that some players won't make the Carabao game, but they'll be available for Leeds, which is totally fine. Talked about the Champions League. He said, I admit that's the trophy we want. It wouldn't be complete my period here if we don't win. It's not the only reason I extend my Manchester City contract, but I have the feeling this club sooner or later will get it. Same Guardiola. I do think that's going to happen. I do actually genuinely believe this. And he was very kind about Calhoun, Ferran Soriano, and loads of other people about his contract and so on. Yeah. He said, excuse me, something in my mouth. Thank you so much for the confidence in me. It'll be difficult to repay the board what they show me, the confidence, but it's difficult to reject how they want me to continue to do our best. Then he waffled about Messi a little bit, but it's all good basically. It's all really, really good. I'll talk about Liverpool a little bit before I get onto Manchester City. Liverpool, they're going to be playing a stronger team by the looks of it than City. You know, it looks like Liverpool are going to have a lineup something along the lines of maybe Kelleher in goal. It looks like well, Trent's back in training, but we don't know who's going to be available. Likewise, people like, who else? We know the likes of Gomez is Matip is. Robertson definitely is. Thiago, Milner, Nunes probably is because he went out earlier. Harvey Elliott, Salah, Firmino. I'm expecting a team something like that. Maybe Trent, Gomez, Matip, Robertson, Thiago, Milner, Nunes, Elliott, Salah, probably Firmino, and Keller in goal. It's going to be something like that. I mean, to me, it's a pretty strong Liverpool team. I can't deny it. They'll be up for this game, as City will. Of course, there's going to be a little bit of spice around it, maybe. There was a bit of edginess in the press recently about, all the rivalries and so on, and the clubs have issued an official statement and so on, trying to get the fans to chill out. But it's going to be a very interesting game, and I'm expecting City to be up for this, like the fans will be and the players will be. It could be difficult, though. I'm going to be honest with you. It could be difficult. As for the team, let's try and predict the 11. Now, I don't really envy anyone playing in this game. It's going to be Ortega in goal because Ederson isn't back. Some people will say that as a blessing because they hate him, but I don't think it is. Rico Lewis is almost certain to start in my personal opinion. Let me get my keyboard in a better position so we can get to it. Lewis will start. I also think as well we're going to see probably a Kanji right centre-back. Now, I've got a feeling Gomez is going to play here. It could be Ake, but I think it'll be that. Then I think this is going to be Laporte or Ake. But then it could be Ake at left back. Maybe it'll be Ake. Maybe it'll be like this if Ake is available. But then he might decide he's not available. It's difficult. What does everyone reckon the team will be? It's very hard to predict this. Very hard to predict it. Please do hit the like button, by the way. And as Beppy said, hit that notification bell as well. What are you waiting for, man? By the way, I know I've been a bit hesitant with videos, but to be honest, I took a little bit of time over the World Cup to concentrate on becoming a dad, because obviously we had little Ruben, and I wanted to just get into the rhythm of things. He's 9 weeks old as of yesterday, so I feel very much in the run of things, and I cannot wait to talk about football. I even planned my schedule out and all that kind of stuff. I did a lot of work yesterday, so the videos are back, and they will be heavy and consistent, so please make sure to hit the subscribe button. I think TT reckons Gomez will start. Key reckons Ake will play over Laporte. Okay, well, do you know what? Maybe Gomez will do. Maybe it'll be one of these two anyway. Gomez, I think, will start. I think Gomez will start too, personally. Here it's going to be Rodri. I think Gundo's going to play almost certainly, and I think KDB is going to play, to be honest. I think these midfield three sort of pick themselves. It's going to be this. The big man up top through the middle is going to play, of course. It'll be Haaland. Riyad's going to play on the right, which unfortunately I think leaves Cole Palmer with the unfortunate job of playing as a left winger. He's not a left winger at all, and I think he may struggle out there. But I'm expecting we'll see something like this. I do think we'll see Palmer on the left. Not ideal, not optimal, but it's something like that I'm expecting to see. Still, there's plenty of quality there. We could have enough. We could do something. In terms of the bench, who are we expecting to see on the bench? I don't know, man. We've had a whole bunch of youth players involved recently. Obviously Shea Charles, Katango, Claudio Borges came on the other day, Alex Robertson, and the Girona game. I think we will see some of the first team players that have come back and are in decent nick. I think Grealish might even be on the bench. Calvin Phillips might be. Foden might be. Diaz, Bernardo, Cancelo, they all might be on the bench, Will they be involved? I don't know. There's a chance they could be. They might come back and be in really good condition, and Guardiola might go, do you know what? Actually, fuck it. They're absolutely flying. Get them back in. They are ready. And it could be a really strong Manchester City team. I would love it after everything that's been said online today. And seriously, I know I sound like I've got a bit of a thing here, but Grealish got a lot of stick online today. And I'm not a Grealish super fan, but I think he should be treated fairly and equally like everyone else. I don't think it's a fair thing to ask. I would love it if after everything said, Grealish started tomorrow. It'd be very, very funny. It'd be hilarious because everyone's moaning about him not coming back. And then if he played, it would be very funny and very amusing. And also a massive boost in my personal opinion. So I think it's going to be something like this anyway. And it could be more than enough, I reckon. I don't really know. I'm expecting tomorrow to be a difficult game. I do think Guardiola's probably right. I think the likes of Mahrez, Haaland, Gomez, whatever, I think they're going to probably be struggling with rhythm a little bit. I am excited, though, of course, to see Rico Lewis at right back. He's almost certain to start. He's playing against Liverpool. That's a massive, massive seal of approval for Rico Lewis. A guy who absolutely deserves to be in that team as well. Further experience for him. I mean, Rico is going from strength to strength. Really massively part of the first team right now. And I'm excited by that. I'm excited by it because he's a quality footballer. And another one who's breaking through to the first team. To me, it's lovely stuff. Yeah, and Caleb, thank you so much, mate. Ruben's doing wonderful. I think he's asleep downstairs currently, actually. He's very distracting. He's very distracting, as all newborns are. They really are. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this, man. Turner said Mbappe already showing up, practice a bit of a hero move. Like, relax, mate, who you're trying to press. Thank you, Turner. Absolutely. Turner's bang on right. If you can't see through the facade or the statement that Mbappe is making by turning up back to PSG, he's very much aware of his reputation. He's doing it for PR. Maybe you can turn around and say it's admirable, but it's clearly just a PR move because they lost the final. He was the hero. He's turned up to look good. He has done. We're not idiots. He's done it to look good, and maybe that's enough for some people. But it's obvious, man. And fair play to him if he wants to. But it's clearly a PR thing. And that's fine. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But he's not doing it for the good of his own heart. He's doing it to look good. Like, it's obvious. It's really obvious. And it's worked, apparently, because everyone's like, Mbappe's a hero. He's come back. And like, Turner, you've read it perfectly. He didn't have to be back, but he's come back anyway to, look good. Fair play. It works. But look, I don't really think it's necessary. It's worth reminding as well when we talk all this stuff about, everyone should have come back early to prove something, Look, it's worth reminding that. Do you remember the start of the season when everyone was moaning about City only playing a couple of friendlies and we're like, we need more friendlies. We're not ready for the season. We have to be more ready. And what the City doing? And look how many games Liverpool have played. Liverpool have played 7-8 games and they're really ready for it. And then what fucking happened? Liverpool got about 20 injuries. Liverpool got injuries left, right, and centre. Everyone's a part-time physio in these wins. Everyone's got an opinion, myself included. Opinions are like arseholes. We've all got them. I get it, But sometimes we need to remember that there is a method to the madness that Manchester City's medical team have. They know what they're doing, and they'll give limited games or give breaks for a reason. They're not doing it just to make it up. They're telling players to rest or play little for various reasons. And, there's many different ways to do it. Liverpool play loads of games, get the players back early. Good for them. But really, I don't really necessarily buy into that idea that, when you've got... Look, sometimes when you've got a schedule as busy as Manchester City's, sometimes players need to be protected from themselves. They genuinely do. I'm just speculating, but we always act like, Grealish should come back early, Phillips should come back early. We don't know what's been said. We don't know. It's very plausible that Guardiola and the coaching team said, do not come back early. Trust me, I know you may want to. Take a week off. You need it. It's going to be better for you. It's better for your physical condition. It's very possible. It's very possible they said that. And in that instance... they're following the manager's orders. Isn't that the most professional thing you can do? Sometimes, knowing when to hold back is the most mature thing you can do. So I just don't really buy into this idea that the only way to show their hunger or their eagerness was to defy all logic and ignore the medical team. Having said that, it might have been their call. But given the fact that no player came back earlier than they should have done, I don't think it was their call. I think they were all following orders, and that's how it is. And City, to be honest, we have a good medical team. People act like we don't, but we do. Touch wood and all that kind of stuff. And I can guarantee you, my desk is made of wood. So there we go. But largely, City's medical team are pretty good. So I do think they know what they're doing there, as Live Tree Ventures said, even God rested on the seventh day. I'm not a religious person, but even apparently the deity who built everything apparently rested on the seventh day, Sometimes you just need a break, mentally. Caleb said Martin Mbappe back early so he can try and convince everyone Messi needs to leave. Yeah, maybe. By the way, I didn't talk about the final. I didn't do a video on it because I think the family were around at the time. But how good was it? It was absolutely wonderful. Julian Alvarez, a World Cup winner. I liked Guardiola said we have a World Cup champion at Manchester City today. I love that. We have a World Cup winner, and I love that. A current blue. Superstar as well in the making has won the World Cup, and you've got to love that, haven't you? Julian Alvarez should be involved a lot. How do we get him in the team, by the way, everyone? Like, how do we get him in the team, regularly? Like it's hard to do, isn't it? I would love to see him back and involved, alongside Haaland. I don't know if they'll do it or not, but I would love to see it. It'd be wonderful, wouldn't it? Because he's absolutely brilliant. But tomorrow, for me, I don't know. This game tomorrow, I think it's going to be difficult. I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool nick something. The only reason I'm feeling quite confident is just because, one, it's at the Etihad. That is obviously going to help, It's going to help. I don't think... If it was at Anfield, I'd be like, yeah, we're going out. But at the Etihad, I do think they could be a little bit rusty. I do think City could find a little bit of rhythm. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't really know how it's going to go down. Like, I'm expecting... My head says a draw, but then that means penalties, doesn't it? Penalties. I'd probably say penalties. Is it penalties? Yes, penalties, isn't it? Straight to penalties. I would reckon that. I reckon penalties, and I don't know after that. I think it's going to be a draw, personally, the game. I reckon a 1-1 or something like that, a particularly minging game. Mo said that Julian Alvarez gained over 5 million followers on Instagram since the World Cup. That is impressive, man. That 5 million followers, that is an insane reach all of a sudden. His marketing team and his PR team would have been absolutely buzzing. That's an arrival on the world stage, isn't it? City fans, of course, knew how good he was, but isn't it crazy that we got 2 generational young elite forwards and one is a backup? We are so blessed. And that's why I always say, by the way, as I always say, we don't know how lucky we are sometimes to be City fans, you know? We don't get how lucky we are. I guarantee you it's the best time to be a Blue. So enjoy it. Enjoy it, everyone, because it really is the best time to be Blue. But yeah, I'm going for that. I'm going for 1-1, I reckon. Turner says KDB and Haaland in the lineup gives me hope. I mean, this is the lineup I predicted. KDB, of course, being there is great stuff, you know. I mean, all it takes is a KDB cross onto Haaland's head, bang, back of the net, 1-0. Likewise, Gundo there with Rodri. It's a plodding midfield, but it's an experienced midfield. And if they're up against the likes of, I don't know, Thiago and Milner and Elliott, the City's midfield is better there. Thiago's is good, don't get me wrong, but, you know, that's a better midfield. And it's potentially a good enough defence. Laporte, okay, maybe, or Kanji, Lewis, Gomez, one of those is going to miss out. I don't know who, but it'll be something like that. Mahrez, of course, got something to prove. Something like that is going to be the team, I reckon. I don't want Palmer on the left. I think Palmer is Palmer should always be over here. You know, Palmer should be over here always. His best position is on the right where Mahrez is, but that's football, and I think unfortunately, he's going to draw the short straw. Maybe it'll be Borges, you know. Maybe Claudio Borges will get a game. He won't get a game, I'll be honest with you. But I would love to see it. It's going to be something like that. Guys, thanks for watching this video. Please do hit the subscribe button. Please do let me know what you make of the game tomorrow, what score you think it's going to be. And check out, of course, the full 888 Sport episode of the playlist by clicking the link in the description below. Go over there and get in the comments and let them know who you think should have been England manager other than Gareth Southgate. Guys, thanks for watching. I will be doing a watch along tomorrow. They are back. And then, of course, a match reaction and maybe even a fan view live. You're all awesome. Catch you very soon. Bye-bye. You're mint. Love you loads. Bye-bye.